Mr. Ray McGovern is a over 30-year veteran of the CIA, CIA intelligence analyst, and where he had many duties, including giving the president's daily brief to presidential administration. Ray, welcome. Please unmute, and I'd love to hear any thoughts or comments you might have.
Thank you, Amar. I'll be very brief. I just want to compliment Ambassador Freeman for not talking like an ambassador, but rather giving us cold facts. We are wholly responsible for this genocide. Let us not blanch before that reality, all of us. Who was it? Rabbi Heschel said, we're not all perpetrators of evil, but we're all responsible for evil, because acquiescence in evil is worse than doing evil itself. So if we take the lessons from this array of facts, cold facts, I think we need to get off our rear ends and do something within the next 5 weeks if we can. The other thing I'll just say is that when Ambassador Freeman was asked about his posting as the director of the National Intelligence Council in March of 2009, I was going to ask him with tongue in cheek, why didn't he, during his tenure as director of the National Intelligence Council, fix all this, do an estimate and make sure people know which end is up? His answer would have been, well, I was only in that position for about 5 hours before
Maybe
the
six.
what was that?
Maybe 6 hours.
6 hours before the lobby got me. So
Yeah, exactly.
the point here is simply that the intelligence community itself is corrupted by all this. Never has an intelligence estimate been done objectively on Israel, and that starts with James Jesus Angleton, and I was around in those days. And so just as you get Tony Blinken saying, and Biden himself saying, Putin has lost the war in Ukraine, well, they get similar disinformation on Israel, and Biden is now between a rock and a hard place. What he said today is sort of interesting. Maybe he's waking up and seeing that he's being played by Netanyahu. I guess the only other thing I'll say is that I really like this paraplegic diplomacy business. And I just remind people who don't know this, another fact, which I didn't hear included in Ambassador Freeman's remarks, and that is that after 1967, when the U.S. press played this as an Israeli response to Arab aggression, namely Egyptian aggression, and none other than previous Prime Minister Menachem Begin came to Washington and addressed a very high-level audience. And this is what he said, very, very brief. The Egyptian army concentrations in the Sinai approaches did not prove that Nasser was really about to attack us. We must be honest with ourselves. We decided to attack him and the USS Liberty and all manner of other people. So let's be aware that not only is this supreme arrogance, but that we are enabling it. And unless we get more enlightened leadership in Washington and more objectivity on the part of intelligence advisors, this is just going to go further down. Sorry to be so pessimistic. Thanks so much, Ambassador Freeman.